They're under logs, under bricks, in your garden, in the sea, in ponds, lakes and rivers. This is 10 things you probably didn't know about isopods. Number 10. Isopods have teeth. This is definitely one of the things you didn't know unless you're a crustologist. Terrestrial isopods have a tooth-like incisor for cutting up the hard shells of dead insects, but don't worry, they pose no threat to humans. Whilst aquatic isopods have 4 jaws lined with razor-sharp teeth designed to tear apart carcasses, or sometimes even live prey. They are also capable of biting humans, and even though they have a strong bite, you probably wouldn't feel a thing. Probably. Number 9. There are lots of them. If you collect terrestrial isopods and have a vast amount of species, it is very unlikely that you will ever manage to get anywhere near the total. According to a recent update of the world list of terrestrial isopods, there are currently 3,710 land-dwelling isopods out there in the world, with a lot more to find. There are over 4,500 marine species, and there are another 500 others that live in freshwater environments. Number 8. Isopods don't pee. Isopods were one of the first marine animals to haul themselves up onto the land, but unlike other animals that evolved to breathe air using lungs, isopods decided to keep their gills. It means that they're dependent on moisture in the form of humidity to be able to breathe. This dooms them to damp, humid and usually dark environments. If it gets too dry, they will migrate in search of another damp atmosphere that suits them. They conserve water by not urinating but by releasing ammonia directly into the air. Sounds like a fun party trick. Number 7. Females carry water. Many animals return to water to give birth or lay eggs, such as frogs and newts for instance. Isopods are unable to do this or they would drown. Therefore, the female carries water with her inside a special pouch on her thorax where she stores the fertilized eggs. Once the eggs hatch, they stay in the mother's pouch and she carries them around. A baby isopod is called a manca, which means eat, and the plural is mancae, which confusingly means missing. Are you missing a subscription to my channel? Then why not subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss my next 10 things. Number 6. Isopods are the masters of disguise, or at least their names are. Isopods have more local names than any other creature in the animal kingdom, and there is a good chance that you call them something different to a person from the next city. In the UK there are 250 to 300 local names, but these names are dying out as the hobby grows and more people are using the order name of Isopoda or isopods to cover all genus. The true common name for them is the woodlouse. The Armadillidium and Armadillo genus are often referred to as pillbugs. And here are some of the odd names we give to the common woodlouse. Roly-poly, pillbugs, slaters, sowbugs, potato bugs, woodbugs, armadillo bugs, doodlebugs, carpenters, boat builders, lubbers, cheesy bugs, cheesy bobs, cheeky pigs, chucky pigs, chuggy pegs, daddy grandfer, crawly baker, granny grey, monkey peas, grandma zow, parson's pig, cheese log, slate cutters, hardybacks, gampers, penny sows, nutbags, pishamares, crunchy bats, billy buttons and granny grunter. Number 5. Isopods are related to crabs. Isopods are crustaceans, which make them related to crabs, lobsters, shrimps and crayfish, to name a few. Being arthropods also means they're distant cousins of spiders, centipedes and insects. The giant marine isopods, Bathynomus giganteus, can grow to a whopping 16 inches or 41 centimeters and are eaten in Japan and other Asian countries as sushi or fried. Supposedly they taste like crab as well. Personally, I believe that killing and eating crustaceans just because we can is nothing short of cruel, and looking at the declining numbers of crabs, lobsters and other common seafoods, if eating isopods catches on, then giant isopods could go the same way. Number 4. Isopods are old. According to fossils, isopods first appeared in the late Carboniferous period of the Paleozoic 300 million years ago. Terrestrial isopods are another story, as it is very unusual for complete arthropod fossils to be found, so piecing the evidence together to form a picture is still incomplete. Magnificus are represented by more than 3,700 species with 500 genera and 37 families and 5 higher clades, all getting a mention in the World Catalogue of Terrestrial Isopods. A large portion of the isopod fauna of the world remains largely unexplored or unknown. Number 3. Creating a new isopod. Just like cats and dogs, new isopod morphologies can be created by isolating similar genetic defects in individuals and exploiting them. Take a real good look at some dull, boring grey woodlice and see if you can spot any abnormalities in their colourings or markings. Isolate these individuals with others with similar defects, and the offspring will also carry the same defect. Repeating this action over several generations can produce an entire morphological subspecies as the defect becomes more and more prominent. This is how we ended up with pure whites and orange lavis, along with many more. Number 2. Isopods are like Pokemon. Just like Pokemon, you can collect isopods. It's only in the last decade has isopod keeping become a firm hobby and is still in its infancy. More and more people are attracted to keeping a pet that needs about as much attention as a pot plant. This, and the ever-growing number of beautiful isopods coming into the hobby, it has wormed its way up the arthropod ladder, and YouTube is littered with videos of how to care for an animal that you normally keep at the bottom of your garden. All you need to keep isopods is a storage bin, some substrate, a little moss, and some bark for them to hide under. A little knowledge of the species you intend to keep also goes a long way. As for feeding your new pets, they will eat just about anything dead. Dead leaves, dead insects, dead fish, and dead and rotting white wood. They also make fun and interesting first pets for children, and if they can't keep an isopod alive, then please don't buy them a puppy. Collecting isopods can also be an expensive addiction, with some of the latest ones costing upwards of £100 each. If you're just starting out in the hobby, or thinking about it, then Porcellio scabba, lavis, or Aniscus ocellus are wonderful first pods. Number 1. Isopods are truly important creatures. You probably never thought about it before, but isopods are one of the Earth's most important creatures. They're detrivores and help in the decomposition of all things dead. If we didn't have isopods in the world, then we would all be up to our necks in dead moths and leaves. They play an extremely important role in the decomposition of leaf litter and make a significant contribution to nutrient cycling in soil ecosystems. With the growing concern of soil pollution and the possible toxins in our foods, isopods could be our eventual saviours, working away in the background, keeping the ecology in check and balanced. Isopods are also used as a preferred invertebrate for testing the relative toxicity of chemicals present in the environment. Changes in their reproduction, moult cycles and food consumption can indicate the presence of certain toxins. If you enjoyed this short video, then please give it a like, consider subscribing, and maybe post a suggestion in the comments below for a subject in this series. Thanks for watching.